folks, it's me, Michaela, and welcome back to my channel. I have a book haul for you today because I have had quite many books that have been added to my shelf since the last time I saw you. However, most of these are not books that I bought. These are books that I had in storage, and I recently got them back from storage, so they are back on my shelf. Though they haven't been on this shelf because when I put them in storage, I didn't own this shelf at that point. Anyway, I'm going to be talking to you about them. I'm not going to do too much detail because a lot of these books are books I got for an English course during my undergrad, so I really don't have a lot to say about them, but I will talk to you about the new books that I actually did buy for myself, and then all of the books I got back from my sister or out of storage. So let's run through them. It's like a little roll call. So I've actually been very disciplined, and I've only bought 3 books. That's right, 3 books since the last book haul. I've been very good. Pat on the back to myself for that. Congrats on not spending all of your money. Since my last book haul, I bought 3 more romance books, which is a lot to say considering my last book haul literally was only romance books. But here we are. I did buy Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, as well as A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver. These are the first 2 books in Gold Rush Ranch. Off to the Races also includes the novella Out of the Gate, which is also part of Gold Rush Ranch. These are the new covers. Look at this lovely little landscape that's going to be on the spines of them all once I get the other 2, but the new covers for the other 2 are releasing at the end of the year, but I will be pre-ordering them. I wanted to start reading Gold Rush Ranch. I think I explained this before, but I read Powerless, which is in Chestnut Springs, and in Powerless, you end up meeting characters from Gold Rush Ranch, and I was like, whoa, hold up. Now that I've read this book, I want to go back and read all of Gold Rush Ranch, and I know all of the info, I know all the facts. I want to be informed. So I bought them. I then also bought The Score by Elle Kennedy. This is the 3rd book in her, off-campus? Yeah, in her off-campus series. So I think I only have 1 more book in the off-campus series now to read, because I think there's a 5th one, but the 5th one is like a continuation. It's like a conclusion thing, right? Is that one a novella? I don't know. I'll have to look into it, so I don't know if I'll read that one. But there's definitely at least 1 full length book left in the series for me to read. Hoping to finish this series by the end of the year. Also hoping to finish Gold Rush Ranch by the end of the year, but that might be a little ambitious. So we'll see. So then moving on to books I got back from my sister. First up, we have my copy of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This I read ages ago, but it's nice to be back on my shelf. She actually now has Well of Ascension. She borrowed that one. So now there's a different Mistborn book missing from my shelf, but I'm going to be getting that back from her in a couple weeks when we are reunited. She then also brought me back my copy of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is a different cover than my other books, and it does bother me, but all 3 of them were a gift from my grandmother, so I can't be mad at it, and I will be keeping my mismatched covers. And then all of the other books are books that I got out of storage. Let's just start with the books that I had from my English course, just to get that out of the way, because I really don't have a lot to say about these. I do plan on reading these again, but the thing is that I need to be in the mood for them, because these are all books that were like assigned reading, so I don't want to basically assign myself assigned reading again just because they're on my shelf. But eventually I'm hoping I'll get all of these reread and they'll be fresher in my mind, because this was from my 4th year of undergrad, which was like 6 years ago at this point, so I don't remember it. It was the middle of school. I was forced to read it, and it was 6 years ago. I don't remember anything in these books. So first up, we have The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. Then I have Don DeLillo's White Noise. Then I have Soucouyant by David Chariandy. 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by Mona Awad. Beloved by Toni Morrison. Angels in America by Toni Kushner. You're gonna have to move, speaker. I got too many books. 10th of December by George Saunders. Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. and Light by Souvankham Thammavongsa. This is a book of poetry. I'm so sorry, I probably pronounced your name so incorrectly. I will look that up and fix it for the future. So those were the books I had in storage from my English course. It was actually a lot more books than I remember, but I have them all now, so they will be staying. For the other books I had in storage, I do have this copy of Medea, the Greek tragedy. This is a little copy. One of my professors gave a copy of this to everybody in our class, so I kept it. I then have my beautiful edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This didn't survive a summer reading too well. She's got some wear and tear, but I kind of like that. She's lived in. So definitely will be reading Pride and Prejudice again at some point because I am back into my classics and I do want to read all of Jane Austen, and I feel like starting off with a reread of Pride and Prejudice would be a good place to start, especially since I already own it. Makes sense. I then have this copy of The Best Loved Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. Big ol' chonky book. This was a gift from one of my friends way back, so it will be staying. It has a cute little message that they wrote for me for my birthday inside, and I also think it's a very nice edition. I did read all of these, I think, back in 2020. Honestly, we did a lot of things back in 2020. There was a lot of time on our hands in the year 2020, and I read this, and I remember liking it overall, but I think it's not a book I recommend just reading back to back. I think it's a pick a little story up and read one every now and then. Probably would have been a better way to go about it, but I didn't do that. I then have potentially my favorite book of all time, Humperdink, Not Him by Theo Lesage. This is a book that my parents grew up reading to me, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so funny. It goes through the whole alphabet. Nobody wants to party with Humperdink, has a happy little ending. When I left for university, I decided to bring it with me. I used to read it when I was homesick or when I couldn't sleep, that kind of stuff. So it stays with me. I plan on keeping it forever and ever, and it's like a prized possession on my shelf at this point. I then have Beartown by Frederick Bachman. You've already seen this. Actually, I don't think I did do a reading vlog for this one. But I did read this one and I annotated it, and I will be getting the copy of Us Against You from my sister also in a couple weeks, along with my copy of Will of Ascension back. Love this book. Fantastic. So happy to have a copy of it physically on my shelf now. Definitely worth the wait. And I had such a good time rereading this and highlighting all of my favorite parts. I then have a copy of The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This was one of my Christmas presents for my sisters back in 2021, I want to say. Or actually, no, I think it was 2020 when I first started getting back into reading, and I put a couple of books on my wish list and I wanted to read The Handmaid's Tale. So they got me this lovely edition. I think this one is so pretty. I love the simplistic nature of it. Did enjoy the book. Didn't like it as much as I thought I would, but I also am more into reading now. So I wonder if perhaps on a reread I would like it more. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for when I get around to rereading this. I have a lot of books to reread, as you can see. And then the final book I have here is this illustrated edition of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And it belonged to a friend, and then me and the friend kind of had a falling out, but they told me to keep this book. So now I have this book. And I haven't read it, but I do have it on my shelf now, and I think I will be reading it. It is a gorgeous edition, and it looks wonderful on the shelf. So she will be staying around and I will be reading it eventually, but this was the final book that I got out of storage. And so here we have all of the books that have been added to my shelf since my last book haul. Nice little round number of 20 books added. This was just like a fun little bookshelf update, more so than an actual book haul, but I thought I'd update you on things that have been going on with the bookshelf. I will probably be doing my bookshelf tour update scenario at the beginning of 2025. I did that at the beginning of this year, and I think that's a good time to kind of give a full overview update of my bookshelf. I don't think it's necessary to give you a new update every time I get a new book, but yeah, We've added 20 books to the collection. I think I'm getting very close right now, unfortunately, to needing a second bookshelf to put the books on if I keep buying more books at the rate I am, which is dangerous business because I don't want my books to be all crammed in super tight. Like, I definitely have more room on this shelf, but to have things organized the way I want and also keep my little knick-knack fun additions to the shelf, you know, like Seymour here. In order for Seymour to have room, I'm going to need more shelf room, or I need to get rid of books, but I don't want to get rid of any of my books. I don't plan on getting rid of any of my books. Don't make me. I think I'm just going to try and slow down my reading. Not my reading. I need to speed up my reading. I'm actually behind on my goal for the year, but I want to slow down my book buying. I've told myself, I put a rule in place on myself. Now, for the rest of the year, I'm only allowed to buy books that are part of a series I'm already reading and I already own the other books in the series. That's going to be my limit. So I can buy the rest of Off Campus, I can buy the rest of Gold Rush Ranch, I could buy the rest of Chestnut Springs, you know, that kind of business, but I can't just buy new books for the sake of buying new books. I gotta stop. I gotta calm down. It's an addiction. My wallet doesn't like it. I'm trying to save money to be a real good, responsible adult. Yeah, the book buying's being calmed down. So hopefully I will only have one more book haul this year. Fingers crossed. I'll only have one more book haul this year at the end of the year as just a final update of all the books I've gotten since then, because I'm planning on not buying a lot of books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to give it a little like, give it a little thumbs up. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. Do let me know down below, have you read any of these books? Especially if it's like one of the books from my English course. I don't remember anything about these. So if you've read them and you like them and you think I will like them, or you hated them but you think I'd like them, let me know, because yeah, I have no clue. I don't remember reading that. I've like erased it from my memory. Gone. I think like priority wise for them, ones that stick out to me is the Mona Awad, Beloved, and The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. You know what? I think I actually missed a book. Hold on. Surprise ending. There's actually 21 books because I forgot I also have Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer from that English course as well. I just remembered that. So there's actually 21 books. Totally forgot about this, but I didn't forget it before I finished the video. So, you know, there we go. 21 books added to the shelf. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.